Hello? Is this thing on? Hello, hello. I affirm all is well, you guys. I affirm all is abundant, healthy, wealthy. Ashe. A lot has been happening, and I'm enjoying the ride, me personally. I hope y'all are enjoying the ride too, because what a ride it is, okay? People was talking about how last year was the year of karma. Honestly, I'm feeling like this year is the year of karma. That's what Oya comes with. She comes with instant karma, instant change, instant transformation, intense, very intense warrior energy. Okay. Hello, my journey. It's so good to see you, sugar. So when I knew this was the year of number 9, and what do we mean by the year of number 9? 2025 equals 9 if you add up all the numbers. I knew that it would be very intense, because that is what Orisha Oya is. That is what that energy in Yoruba tradition or African traditional religions, that's what we identify that energy as. I just got right into the reading, y'all. My bad. There are some new people here. Some of y'all I don't know personally. So I do go by the name of Ife Oyin. You can call me Ife. You can call me Yaya as well. I am a certified sound therapist and a Reiki master, which is a energy healer. I'm also a high priestess of an African traditional religion called Palo Mayombe. So, yeah, now that that is out of the way, I'm also an astrologer, holistic wellness practitioner, so on, so forth. But astrology is a form of divination that I like to use because it just resonates with me. I've always been drawn to astronomy and the stars and just what they're doing up there, you know? So these are the downloads that I got from sitting with this energy. So overall, I got that this is going to be a very emotional month. Okay. With a lot of moon and water energy. So some ways to balance our emotions. Just to start off, you might want to get some notes out. Take some notes. Somebody has joined. I cannot see who that is. Facebook. We will find another. Oh, I see Shalay. I see Alicia. Hello. Hello. But some ways that we can balance our emotions, since this will be like an emotional month. I've already been feeling the effects of it, like the end of last month. I was deeply emotional about the things that I'm finding here at my grandparents' house, and just a lot of things pertaining to family and foundation. You know what I'm saying? So, to cry. Okay, that's one way to balance your emotions, to release, to face your fears and challenges, to hold yourself accountable. Okay, to identify your triggers and sit with the emotion, feel the emotion, come to terms with the emotion, okay, and then let it go, release it, and move forward. So those are some ways that we can balance our emotions and just work on releasing some heavy energy. I went ahead and started at the full moon, y'all. I just went ahead and started looking at that energy because everything else, the beginning of the month, I feel like I'm speaking on the energy throughout this reading anyways. So yeah, just let me know if it resonates. And like I said, take some notes. All right, so the full moon in Sagittarius on July 11th, which is Wednesday. This is known as the strawberry moon, and its peak illumination will be at 3:44 a.m. The 44s is on my ass. So here are some things that you can do around this time. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Everything is not going to pertain specifically to you. This is a collective reading, but I also do personal astrology readings based on your specific birth time, where the planets were aligned when you were born. All right, so some recommendations would be from this energy would be to get a personal reading, because there's a lot of emotions going on, because with emotions come some illusions. And I believe Neptune is in Aries, making us impulsive with these ideas. So we want to make sure our ideas, our mind, our thoughts are clean, are high vibrational, right? Because it's easy for us to fall into illusions. So it may be time for a reading. I don't encourage people to get readings often. You don't want to open portals often, but sometimes life does call for a reading just to keep you in alignment with your highest destiny. This is a perfect time to make those travel reservations or plans. If you're planning on traveling, go ahead and make those plans. I know I made my reservations the other day. I'm excited. I need to touch the water. This is a perfect time to take some classes or some courses. So if you've been thinking about, I don't know, taking any kind of class, a hair class, or I don't know, some type of holistic wellness class, a yoga class, a mechanic class, I don't know, any type of class or course, this is the perfect time to do that. Spiritual knowledge is greatly expanding right now. I know it most definitely is for me. I've been diving deep with my friend who is in this group, Alonzo. And we're always talking about spiritual things and yeah, how it pertains to everyday life and what's going on in these shifts. Yeah. So your knowledge may be expanding as well. I know a lot of people, I'm seeing it before my eyes, especially on TikTok, to the point where it's almost oversaturated in my opinion, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. Everything is divine, right? So, yeah. What is the next thing? You may be learning some financial literacy, some things about financial literacy, and making financial plans. You may be releasing old money habits. And the thing about it, if you're not, this is a perfect time to do so during this full moon. Full moons are good for releasing. They're also good for attracting. Whatever you need at that time, it's a great time to do it during a full moon. So if you need to release old money habits, do that by way of fire, by way of water, by way of air, by way of the earth. However you choose to do it, by way of the tongue, by way of meditation, by way of writing. Whatever is your way that you feel comfortable and you feel like, yes, I released that by crying. Things may be going good in your career or business. This is lucky energy too for a lot of people. You may feel flirty or in love. You may feel like partnering with someone when it comes to money, like a business partnership, etc. Okay. And getting deeper into the reading, Spirit was saying during this time, know how the spirit realm and the physical realms relate. How are they related? Because we talk about the spirit realm and the physical realm as if they're something separate. But then we contradict ourselves and say that we are spiritual beings, right? Which everything is a contradiction anyway. Everything is and everything ain't, according to universal law. But know within yourself, actually sit with that. How is the spirit realm connected to the physical realm? When we're doing all of these spiritual practices and all of these spiritual things, how is that working in the physical realm? How does lighting a fire, lighting a candle do something in the physical realm? Like, make it make sense is what Spirit said. It's important that we know these things. It's important why we know why we're doing these things and why they connect. You know? Because there's a lot of people just doing it just to do it. They don't know how it connects. Making altars, connecting with your ancestors. Why is it important for us to be doing these things? I already said that. How are they connected? The universe wants some of y'all to go within and answer this question. I already said that. Okay. So spiritual awakenings and upgrades are taking place right now too. We already knew that, but with each full moon, with each eclipse, with each meteor shower, with each transition of the planets, we are shifting. These are different shifts taking place. Right now, this is an emotional shift. It's focused on our emotions. It's focused on that water energy, that feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? So there's healing that's taking place in this area for a lot of people. If it resonates, can I get 8 gram? Let the tribe say 8 gram. Ngozi. Hello. Hello, wizard. I think that you are here, Andre. So, all right, let's see where we at here. Oh yeah, spiritual awakenings and upgrades taking place. So beware of ascension symptoms. We've posted it in the group before, but if somebody else can post a list of ascension symptoms, that'll be great. These are things like headaches, ringing in your ears, crazy downloads, chills, and feeling like you're sick but you're not really sick type of thingies. Different things like that. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach. Stuff like that. All right. Emotions are tense right now for some people. Some people are like being crushed by the weight of low vibration. They are. There's some people are losing it. Sadly to say. And then there's like this huge divide where some people are enjoying their experience. They're stepping into their higher selves. They're realizing certain things. They're waking up. They're like, oh my gosh, we've been lied to, you know? And that's beautiful to watch too. But some people are literally taking themselves out of the game and the New Year collective reading said that that will be happening. I had a friend who took his life, a classmate who took his life this year. So when that happened, I knew it was real. The weight of the low vibration is weighing very heavy on some people, okay? To those who are having a challenging experience, why is it challenging? Ask yourself that. What is making your experience challenging? Really sit with yourself and answer that truthfully. And I hope the answer leads you to self and not blaming other people. Because we have the power to change our reality, right? So if I don't like something, then it's my fault. I'm able to literally get up from right here in this seat and go. There's the door. I can go out that motherfucker if I want to. Literally. If I don't like this environment, if it's aggravating me, I can move around and go do something that I do enjoy. Okay? Have done it plenty of times. All right. Truthfully, some of us need better boundaries when it comes to romantic relationships, mostly. That's what this aspect is saying. Okay, this full moon in Sagittarius that we're going to experience on Wednesday. But also relationships in general. Okay. So the energy is talking about romantic relationships, but I say mostly just close relationships. And that's family, friends, really anybody that we're around these days. Nobody's super young in this group, so we don't really have time to be doing frivolous things, you know? So all of the people that we do choose to involve ourselves with, some of us need to set better boundaries. While I was channeling this energy, I was picking up on some childhood issues that need to be faced and solved so that some of us can move forward in our current relationships. So when you're analyzing your relationships with people in general, you know, you might want to do some shadow work on childhood traumas, how you felt in your relationships as a kid. How did you feel in your friendships as a kid? You know what I'm saying? One thing that I had to heal was the whole, well, people are just jealous of you thing. You know, because that's what my mama told me when I was growing up, literally. When I would fall out with my friends, it would be, oh, they're just jealous. You know, so I really had to heal that. And it's like, they're not jealous. They probably got some other things going on. It's like all I can do is control myself. You know what I'm saying? So if I feel like I did all that I can do and I was open to talk about whatever went wrong, then I did all I can do. So about some childhood issues that need to be faced and solved so that you can move forward in your current relationships. And I'm feeling mostly I was feeling mostly that some of us need to heal our relationship wounds with women. Okay? Not even just women to women, but even men in your relationships with women, your relationship with your mother, your relationship with these women out here, your baby mama, and so on and so forth. Okay? This energy is calling for us to heal whatever issues we have with the divine feminine. It'll be beneficial for all of us. I know that I'm healing a lot of things when it comes to my relationship with my mom. A lot of y'all probably don't know, but we had a terrible relationship. Everybody knew it too. Like, I didn't mind cussing her out loud on Facebook. So everybody knew our relationship was trash. But I really worked really hard on our relationship, and she works hard too, and we're still working. You know, I even did some work with a spirit called Madre de Agua, which some of y'all might know that energy is Yemoja, Yemaya, and Ifa. But it was this energy right here. It was that water energy that I can truly say mended our relationship. You know, I feel like through my from my perspective, like, because I know I did the work. You know what I'm saying? So the emotions that came out through our healing journey is just like amazing, absolutely amazing. So yeah. So here are some remedies for this full moon in Sagittarius. All right. Refer back to your list of long-term goals for this year. If y'all made a list of long-term goals that you want to accomplish over 2025, go back over that list. Cross off the accomplished goals or set better mini goals to help accomplish the larger goals if you haven't accomplished them yet. Okay, what this is going to do is just show us what we've accomplished, okay? Oh no, my battery's running low. Because there's some energy that's going to come in that's going to make us second guess ourselves. So this is a technique that I feel like everybody should always be doing. Cross off your goals and celebrate. Whatever you consider celebration to be. Eat a cookie. Smoke a blunt. Drink some wine. Go to the strip club. I don't know. Whatever you don't do often that you just like, hey, I would like to indulge in that. I ain't saying smoke no crack or nothing like that, but if that's your thing, I ain't judging. Oh my God. Okay, my bad. Yeah, and if you haven't made you a list of goals, write down your goals. We did that in high school. They did actually teach us something. Write down your goals for the year. Cross them off as you go and celebrate. That's literally a ritual. I find any reason to celebrate. All right, here's another remedy. What do you want physically? I put this in all caps, so Spirit Must was yelling. They want us to know what we want physically. This is pertaining to some physical energy, and I should have wrote down the placements right there, but I didn't. But write it down clearly. What do you want? What do you want? You can't get what you want if you don't know what you want. Now, I don't really, some people do encourage you to be very specific. I don't really encourage people to be extremely specific. You can be, but I'm not really extra specific all the time. I just make it known that I want to be comfortable, right? Because I don't want to limit Source on what to give me. Source could want to give me something way greater than what I'm requesting, you know? So I don't want to block that. Just saying. You know, give me whatever, give me the biggest. The largest. I'll take it. The largest piece of land. Now I will be specific right there. I'll throw some land on there. But all right, the next remedy. Some journal prompts. All right. Do you feel like you're where you're supposed to be physically? Because there's some energy that's going to come up that's going to make us think about this anyway. You know, do you feel like you're where you're supposed to be physically? All right. Why or why not? How do you feel about your financial situation? Answer these questions truthfully. How do you feel about it? Sit with those feelings and then release it. However you choose to release. Water, air, fire, earth, by way of earth. Okay? You can write it down and burn it. That's the easiest way to me. You could write it on a candle, say, I release. All of those things with a permanent marker. Okay? A permanent black marker to symbolize death to these things. I banish these things. Because knowing how we feel about our financial situation creates a doorway for us to have a better financial situation. If you don't know what's wrong, how can you fix it? When you take a broken car to a mechanic, they're going to look and see what's wrong. They're not just going to go to fixing it. What if it's not broken? You know? All right, so moving on to the next remedy, y'all. Say some financial abundance affirmations. YouTube is so good for affirmations because they play them for hours, and then they be having visuals on the screens of like yachts and Benz and you know what I'm saying, all of that. And for me, it's not really the yachts and the Benz, it's more so being comfortable. I have to be comfortable. That's I come from comfortability, if that's a word. So it's the cleanliness, you know, the quality and the comfortability. There I go using that word again. It must be a real word. So say them, listen to them and say them, repeat them as you're listening. Strengthen your connection with the divine feminine / the women of your lineage. You know, on your ancestor altar, I would even make a space for the divine feminine and for the divine masculine. And I kind of have my altar like that, but not really. I kind of got it all mixed in, just whatever all of my feminine or masculine ancestors want. I just put it on my altar, but that is a good idea. And that's really a download that just came to me right now. To separate your altar so that you can work with the divine feminine energy of your lineage and call forth those women, you know, so you can know specifically who you're working with at the time, you know. Because I realize a lot of people will say they working with their ancestors, but like who? Like, do you know who? Do you know if the energy is feminine or masculine, or do you think all of them are showing up for you? Because they're not. If we hold a Misa right now, all your ancestors are not coming in the building. You know what I'm saying? Some of them ain't even strong enough to communicate, or not communicate, but make their energy show, if that makes sense. All right. So another remedy would be to work with the spirit of wealth. In Ifa, in Yoruba tradition, we call that spirit Aje. In or Olokun. In Congo tradition, we call that spirit Kalunga. Work with the spirit of wealth. This spirit of wealth also holds knowledge, all the knowledge of the universe, really, in the earth. That is the depths of the ocean. Ajay is really Olokun's daughter, but we ain't gonna get into all of the Yoruba stories and all of that. But same thing, same thing. They come from the bottom of the ocean, the very, very bottom, where no human has gone, and where all of the creatures and wealth and everything is. So I'm going to tell you how to work with the spirit of wealth. You can take offerings like fruits, specifically bananas and honey, veggies, and chicken. It's supposed to be fresh chicken, but I would even just take chicken from the store. Raw chicken from the store. Drizzle some honey on it and give that to the spirit of wealth if you want to. In the river. Because the river leads to the ocean, and the ocean will take the offering to Olokun. So those of you who are into stuff like that, I would do that if I were you. You could also take an offering of a squash or a calabash full of coins, silver coins, honey, bananas, and a petition to the river as well. And, just say, you don't even have to call the spirit Ajay or Olokun or any of those things that you're not familiar with. You could just say, to the spirit of wealth, to the spirit of really money. Ajay is the cowrie shell. Okay, the symbol of money that was used before money became paper and coin. Right? To symbolize that equal exchange of energy. So some people would say, oh, I'm trying to get away from money. I'm trying to go off the grid. Guess what? If you want to exchange with somebody outside of your village that you create, your little grid, because you're gonna mingle with people outside of your land. I guarantee it. Sometimes everybody don't want to barter. Sometimes you might have something that I don't want, but I got something that you want. So we need a symbol of exchange, whether it's a bell or a piece of chip. I'm going to give you this so you can take something of value that you can take somewhere else and get whatever you do want, whatever you do need. So that spirit of money is always going to be around. That is an ancient spirit, and that's actually a spirit that sits close to the throne of God. That is one of the firstborn in heaven, as we call it. All right, y'all, moving on. Because I didn't really went too deep in that. I didn't even write all of this. Okay. Oh, if you're looking to mend or strengthen relationships with your mother or your grandmother or your auntie or whatever divine feminine energy, now is the perfect time to do some rituals. Okay. Now I just heard free will in my head. Like, what about free will? Okay, when doing spells pertaining to other people but not letting them know. Um Funny story. You can divine to see if spirit wants you to do something like that, or if you really feel in your heart like, I want this relationship to work. If your intentions are pure, okay, and you really don't wish to harm this person, you really wish to do well within this person's energy space, and you're really honoring that, you can go ahead and do the spell. I would encourage you to actually do it. Do it. Because sometimes it does take a little behind the scene works. That's just like, our grandmothers praying over us those long nights, putting their hand on our ori and praying over us. You know what I'm saying? Technically, that's fucking with somebody else's free will. But because the intention is so pure and you're speaking such a high vibration over the person, it's okay. It's okay to do that. Alrighty, moving on. I just got a few more remedies and then we're gonna move on to the next aspect. And I don't even really have many aspects. Like I told y'all, I think all of it is covered here, really. Another remedy would be to spend some time by the water, build and strengthen your connection with the waters, with the sweet waters, with salt water, with moon water, whatever kind of water that you feel connected and drawn to. Lake water even has its own type of energy. Everybody ain't attracted to rivers and oceans. Some people are attracted to swamps. That water has an energy. Okay? So spend time by whatever water that you're attracted to. Touch the water, talk to the water, feel the energy, sit and listen. Another remedy, release negative feelings towards money. Okay. I believe the full moon is, well, I don't think it's aspecting. Never mind. Let me not go there because we'll be here forever. But Yeah, I already said that. Money ain't going nowhere. Money is a spirit, okay? Avoid frivolous spending during this time. Always circulate. We never spending, we always circulating. That should be a habit. That should be a normal practice to circulate your money. Never spend it. Your money should be flowing towards something of value because it will always come back to you. I was riding with my friend one time and she was letting down the window to give some change to a homeless man. And she looked at me and said, "You got anything to give?" I said, "Absolutely the fuck not." My bad. My bad. Yeah, I said no because, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'll give somebody resources before I'll teach somebody how to fish before I give them the fish. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you the fish. I will teach you how to fish though. I'll take you. I know plenty of people who hire homeless people. I used to work with homeless people at the Clorox company, but never am I going to hand you fish. The thing about it, when I was homeless, I didn't even want nobody to hand me fish. I was working for it. I was sleeping in my car. I was making sure them wheels work so that I can go make $1, so that I can live somewhere. Hello, people got to want it for themselves. And one thing I'm not going to do is become an enabler. So I always circulate my money. That's why I'm never worried about money. I could be down to $100 and guess what? Who's finna worry? Because all of my needs have been met. All of our needs have been met thus far and will continue to be met. Not only our needs, but our wants as well. We've done plenty of things we wanted to do. Right? Ashe? So, I encourage y'all to keep that in mind. Circulate. That teaches people to get up. You know what I'm saying? Get up. Go fish. You have the ability to fish. I know motherfuckers with no legs out here fishing. Excuse my language, but real talk. Real talk. It's time for us to boss up. It's time for us to level up. It's time for all of us to level up. That's how I choose to help my people. I'm not going to be an enabler. Get up. You be mindful. I can't be mindful for you. You know? And it sucks, but that's love too at the same time. All right. Another remedy would be to do some shadow work for childhood trauma. Really dig deep into that childhood trauma because it's holding some of us back, especially when it comes to our relationships, okay? Something as simple as being happy for others, you know what I'm saying? All kind of things that stem from childhood trauma. Okay? This too, beware of gaslighters and people who blame other people for their experience and choices. There's a lot of people telling on themselves right now. They're expressing their vibration. You know what I'm saying? Just by typing. They're not even speaking. They're typing their vibration right on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And more, I don't even be scrolling, but it's just like soon as you get on Facebook and there's things that feel like they take from my spirit, that's why I don't scroll. But like I said earlier in the beginning of the reading, some people are not able to handle the intensity of the low vibrational field that they have created. So they will come to somebody like a lot of us in this group who hold light and maintain a high vibration. We're mindful of the things that we say. We're mindful of the things that we put on and in our bodies. You know what I'm saying? And they will try to gaslight us. Okay? That is a spirit. That is a spirit. So we have to recognize it as a spirit and give it no energy. Okay? banish that, and give it no energy. So be mindful of that, because it's a lot of that going on right now. And for those who are not feeling so abundant right now, create and write I have affirmations. So an example would be, I have more than enough resources to accomplish my goals. Ashe. That is the end of the remedies for the full moon in Sagittarius. Sheesh. Yeah. I hope some of that resonated. On to the next aspect. This is happening around June 17th. So Mars is entering Virgo. What does this mean for us? Okay, because Virgo is a feminine energy, which is also why I said work with the divine feminine energy, work with water. Because that's also what Virgo is. Mars is how we assert ourselves. Okay, so this is very strong, powerful energy. How we show up, how we are motivated, type of thingy. But this is saying this aspect may be bringing feelings of perfectionism. That's a Virgo thing. So try not to be too hard on yourself. Okay? It's okay to rest in your feminine energy. Okay? Whether you're a male or a female, it's okay to rest in that feminine energy. Move like the water. Go with the flow. It is what it is. And that's not saying that you don't have to care or to just be completely careless, but if it's out of your control, it's just out of your control. You know? If you're making an art piece and you messed up, just erase it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself grace. Okay? Be perfectly imperfect. Keep that in mind. Remember, it's okay to care, but never worry. We don't want to worry. Okay? So we have to learn the difference between caring and worrying to the point where it's sucking the energy out of you, you know? Especially my sisters. Us women, we start worrying about stuff, you know what I'm saying? We got to learn how to relax that forehead and really chill, because we be caring about so much that it turns into worry. We be worrying about these chilling. We be worried about these men. We got to change that into, we care about these kids. We care about these men. Not enough to put the wrinkles in the forehead, though. Focus on uplifting yourself in this energy. You may be detail oriented with high standards for yourself and others during this time. Be sure that your desire for what you consider to be perfection doesn't stem from anxiety or childhood traumas. Be sure that your desire for what you consider a perfect life, like perfectionism, doesn't stem from anxiety or childhood traumas. Because a lot of our perfectionism may be a result of anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Illusions that we're creating, when really everything that we are doing is perfect. We just being a little hard on ourselves. Well, I said if you notice they do, then follow the remedies below that we're going to get into. Try to go with the flow. Flow like the water. Keep structure, but allow life to excite you with its spontaneity. I'm one of them type of people who I don't really enjoy spontaneous moments unless I'm initiating the spontaneous moment. And I'm the one who's saying, hey, y'all, let's go to Panama City real quick. But I have learned to just go with the flow, you know? there must be a reason for certain things. Sometimes if I know a situation doesn't mean me any harm, and it only has my best interests at heart, you know, I go for it. That's like saying if I'm with my mom and my mom's like, hey, let's go to Vegas, I would say no. I know my mama ain't gonna poison me or knock me off a bridge when we get out there. I'm gonna say yes. Ain't no telling what's waiting for me out there. If my sister Aisha called me and be like, hey, let's go to France, I know she ain't gonna get out there and try to knock me off. I'm gonna say yes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Flow like the water during this time. To my leaders, to my life path number ones, okay? All that. To my leaders, my Pisces, Aries. Them Pisces be leaders, okay? Your ability to lead in this energy is A1 right now. Be sure to keep your energy cleansed, stay grounded, drink water, and continue to take a few moments a day to listen to spirit. Okay? We got to make sure we stay up on our remedies and stay cleansed and stuff like that, especially in high intense energies like this. Because you know, there are lots of energy vampires still running around out here, and well, we're able to see that things are getting a little trickier. There's a lot of wolf in sheep clothing as well. So keep yourself cleansed, keep your vibration high. But I just wanted to say the leaders are thriving right now. Your download should be A1 right now. And that's collectively too. Everybody's download should be kind of booming right now. Be mindful of competing. It will bring misfortune. Okay? The only person we should be in competition with really is our past selves. Everybody else is fighting their own battle. They're fighting their own battle, their own war, and we must allow them to do that and just move around as much as possible as we fight our own battles, you know? The lights better not go out. I'm down here in the country. Oh my gosh. And then the last thing or message was progress comes at this time through collaboration. That is the energy that I was picking up on. Here are some remedies for this aspect. Do some self-love rituals like mirror gazing at your body and telling yourself that you love yourself. Okay, rubbing on yourself, rubbing lotions and fragrances and oils and things on you, you know, that you have prayed over and put your intentions into. Love on yourself. A self-love bath, self-love affirmations. Write yourself a love letter or things that you love about yourself. I've said this before, but if you have not done it yet, I encourage you to really do that. It does something. It leaves an impression on the subconscious that is like, you really start seeing a difference in how you treat yourself. And when you treat yourself different, when you treat yourself to a high standard, people notice that. People start treating you how you treat yourself unintentionally. You don't even have to say anything. How you carry yourself will show, hey, we can't just be treating that one any kind of way. That one's carrying itself like it got some self-love going on, you know? For real. All right, another remedy will be to tap into feminine energy. What does that look like? If I miss anything, feel free to put some things in the comments. So what does tapping into the feminine energy look like? That looks like communicating to receive. Divine feminine energy is receptive. If it was, you know, a giving type of energy, then I would be the one out here beating these men's back out. But I'm not the one handing the pole. I'm the one accepting the baton. Okay? So, female energy, feminine energy is receptive. Can we agree on that? So we want to practice communicating to receive. What does that look like? Communicating to listen and receive information. We are processors, divine processors of information. So during this time and in this energy, and this is for everybody, not just the women now. Everybody should be practicing their divine feminine energy. Listening to receive the information. Listening to understand. Not listening to reply. My intentions ain't even to reply right now. It's to listen, to understand what's going on, to feel what's going on through the eyes of another person. Okay? Oh, this shift is amazing. Holy shift. Holy shift. Something about that just gave me chills. Like, I like all of this. Like, yeah, all of us working on ourselves and stuff. Earth is gonna be so good. All right. Another way to tap into your feminine energy: resting the muscles in your forehead. Resting the muscles in your forehead and laughing more. Creating from your heart space. Cleaning and organizing. Working out. That could be masculine too, but just for, remedy's sake, working out. Make a doctor's or a wellness appointment for a checkup or an energy tune-up. Tidy up your appearance. Tidy up your hair. Pick you out some nice clothes. Look nice. Make sure you smell inviting. Okay? And moving on to the next few remedies. If you don't like your appearance, then change the things that you can and come to terms with the things that you cannot change about yourself. And by coming to terms with them, I mean find a way to love them. Find a way to love your uniqueness. Another remedy, some inner child work would be greatly beneficial. We talked about that. Donut blood or red items on a Tuesday for fortune. And I believe that is also for protection too. I'm feeling like now. Take care of thorny plants. This is what Vedic astrology recommends that we do. Fast from bad habits for good fortune and protection. So I encourage you to fast the rest of June if you can. And I believe this is the last aspect right here. No, actually, we got two more. Okay, this is a lot of information. Sheesh, I didn't know I typed this much. Okay, let me hurry up. Because what time is it? Oh, it is getting late. Okay. So moving on to the next aspect. June 18th. Jupiter in Cancer squares Neptune in Aries. So what does this mean for us, the collective? This aspect is calling us to release and let go of illusions that we have created in reference to love affairs and drama that we've created in our minds too. Now I know a lot of us don't really deal with drama in here, but I mean some of us might. I don't know us personally. But be mindful of drama. that we've created based on illusion. This is a great time to clear debts, pay back people that you owe, clear your name. Okay? A lot of people are expanding their goals, and that calls for some growing pains, right? So with growth comes pain. Also, under the influence of this energy, a setback may leave us questioning what we're doing. So there may be a little minor setback that happens around this time. Don't let it throw you off your rocker. Strengthen your faith in your spirit team. Okay? If this does happen to you, the main thing you should be doing is strengthening your faith, strengthening what you believe in. And if you don't know what you believe in, it is a great time to find out. You know, I encourage you to get a mentor, but I'm pretty sure I said that later on in this reading too. Sit with your altar, feed your egun, feed your ancestors. Okay, that builds strength, that builds your protection. Talk to your spirit guides. Give them a dedicated sacred space. Emotions can be high as we realize we're not exactly where we want to be. Okay? Some of us may be craving intimacy and deep emotional connection as well. If you're feeling uncomfortable or having an unpleasant experience, it may be closely related to your desire to expand, your desire to grow. I'll say this as many times as necessary. Figure out what you want. That is so important, that we figure out what we want. You have to know yourself. You have to know what you want. When we know what we want, then we can move accordingly. Then we can speak it into existence. Then we can see it into existence. The best way to do that is to take a break from everything and be completely honest with yourself without placing restrictions or limitations on yourself. In learning who you are and what you like and what you want in your life, you can't place restrictions on yourself. No matter what other people may think, no matter what you think you can afford, when you place restrictions on yourself, you start placing restrictions on the Most High Divine Source, on the Most High God, whatever you believe in. And then I go on to say, if you desire assistance or mentorships through this process or through this shift, feel free to contact me. I do offer mentorship. I only have 3 spaces available though. Because I already do some mentorships now, and we go pretty deep, and it really takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. But nonetheless, yeah. And even if you don't feel called to work with me, get you a mentor that you feel called to help you figure out where to go, what to do. Someone who is skilled in consulting with spirit. There's plenty of us out here. Alright, here are the remedies for this aspect. Work with the womb or the lower 3 chakras if you don't have a womb. Especially the root and sacral chakra. Okay? Somebody post how you can work with the root and sacral chakra. You can post it in the comments. You can post it in the group and just add everybody. We have said so many times how to clear, how to work with it. I'm going to start by saying eat foods related to those chakras. There you go. You can Google it. What foods are related to the root chakra? What foods are related to the sacral chakra? And Google will tell you. Show gratitude. Look back into your journals and in your list of goals. This is why we journal. This is why we keep a list of things, so that we can look back and cross off the things that we have accomplished and brought into fruition. Okay? So that we can show gratitude. Because what happens when we show gratitude? The universe gives us more to be grateful for, more things to be thankful for. Why? Because we are focusing on the things that we enjoy. That is the law of attraction. You get what, not only what you are, but what you focus on. So if I'm always focused on saying I'm grateful for this, the universe has no choice but to match that energy. Now I'm saying I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for this and that and this and that and this and that, and I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful for that. Straight up. Open up with people you trust, or create a space where you can fully bathe in yourself and express yourself, like an altar, like a self-love altar, or a space within community. For me, that space is my altar, and of course the spaces that I create within community, but mostly that space for me is my altar, where I could just really be myself and open up. It's actually in the spaces that I create too, but participate in group healing and group exercises like yogas and things like that. This energy is great for collaborations and just being in a group, period. Being in community, period. Utilizing our different resources and talents. Be open to change and breakthroughs during this time. Because, like I said, we are in the year of number 9. Oya. Our mother, who is reigning outside right now, or my mother, should I say, not our. I can't speak for everybody, you know what I'm saying? But she brings swift change, swift transformation. We have to be open to the change and the breakthroughs, to receive some blessings. And say your affirmations. That is in all caps. Say your affirmations. Listen to affirmations every day. Repeat them. Say them out loud. Feel the vibration coming through your throat chakra. You know what I'm saying? The more that we say these affirmations, the more that we rewire our brain. The more that we start talking to ourselves and others just like that. The more we start recognizing these posts that we reposting on Facebook that's saying, well, maybe my situation harder because my mission greater. Fuck that. I don't claim a hard mission. Oh, let me relax my forehead. I don't claim a difficult journey to become everything that I am. Why would I do that? I don't want to work hard. I'm a Capricorn. I work smart, baby. All that hard stuff, okay. Y'all claim that. Take it up. Eat it up. Because it won't be for me. Somebody got to do it, and it won't be me. I promise. I promise. Ooh, Lord, have mercy. Okay, this is the last aspect, y'all. Woo, this gonna take us all the way to... Where my water at? Ooh. This is gonna take us all the way to the sun entering Cancer and the summer solstice. My apologies. Okay. So June 20th, the sun enters Cancer, and That is the summer solstice. Solstice. What is the summer solstice? I can barely say it. This is when the sun is directly in the northern hemisphere. Okay, this is when our hotter days are coming, and our days are the longest. So this is the peak of our solar energy. The northern hemisphere is witnessing full solar power and warmth, right? So we can give thanks to the sun if you're interested in doing something like that by planting things like sunflowers and planting flowers, things that love the sun, practicing yoga. There are some mudras that boost our solar energy and that give thanks to the sun. Reciting affirmations that show gratitude to the sun. Breathing. Okay. Sitting offerings in the sun. Whatever you feel called to sit out there. That could be fruits with honey, and just say thank you. I give thanks to the source that lights up all of the land. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you feel called to say and do and give. Sun gaze early in the rising and in the evening during the sunset. That's a way to harness this solar energy. Also to decalcify your pineal gland too. There's plenty of benefits of sun gazing. We've put it in the group before, but if somebody else feels called to put it again, please do so. In this energy, you want to go grounding. Create something. Create a nature jar. Okay? Get you a little jar or a Tupperware bowl and put you some earth elements in there. Different elements. Create something. Create, I don't know, a bird food station or something. I don't know. Get creative. Meditate, clear, and embrace the solar plexus. This is located by your belly button. This sparks our creativity. Swim in a natural body of water. Give thanks after you do, and let the water bless and anoint your body and your crown chakra. Leave an offering of coins, unwrapped or chopped fruit, or a fragrance like an incense, or you could even spray some perfume out there. But when I say fragrance, I'm more so talking about like an incense as an offering to the Wata. Participate in group gatherings or rituals. I know that my sister Omidara is having a full moon ritual. Oh, this is for the new moon. Well, the full moon was talking about doing group gatherings as well. All of these aspects and all of this energy is really like bringing us together as like a community as a whole. I just think it's so beautiful because this is something that I've always wanted. I've always pushed for community because I never wanted to be the only one doing all of these things, But yeah, alrighty. Moving along. Participate. Okay. High emotions of gratitude, but also victimization during this time. I don't even know if that's a word. But a lot of people are playing the victim role. A lot of people are grateful too during this time. So make sure you have discernment. I believe I said in the full moon reading, the word for this year is discernment. Discernment, because there's so much out here. There's so much information. There's so many priests and priestesses. There's so many different things. Even when it comes down to simple everyday life, there's so many mechanics out here. You have to be careful which Mexicano you go to. Is you gonna jip me? You know, so call in that spirit of discernment and let that spirit know I welcome you into my life today, right now. Come on. Discernment 24/7. I need you to hit 25/8. Straight up. All right. This is in all caps. Do the best you can each day. We're already doing that. Okay? Pat yourself on the back at the end of each day. Show gratitude every day. You know, my days started becoming a lot easier when I showed gratitude as soon as I opened my eyes. And I showed gratitude every night when I went to bed. I'm grateful for everything that happened today. You know what I'm saying? Even my challenging moments made me a stronger person. Even my challenging moments grew me closer to my highest, most divine self. Every situation that I encountered today made me see God even clearer, even more in my life. Ashe, I'm so grateful. That's how we should be talking naturally. People may start popping out with off the grid and homesteading ideas, shared resource programs, and cults and covens. Y'all know I want to start a coven, but I'm not the only one. A lot of people are doing that. And you might start seeing it more and more, right? So there will be an increase of gatekeeping this season. Not only have I been seeing posts, but literally that's what this planetary placement is saying. I thought it was so interesting, and it really gave me chills because I'm just like, y'all know I'm a gatekeeper, so I'm like, finally, because it's so oversaturated out here, and poor people, they are confused though. I could see it. There's nothing that I can do but sit back and hope that they ask for discernment. That's all I can do. But yeah, many of the leaders in our communities are becoming tired of overextending themselves, oversharing information, and being pushed to align with their and they are being pushed to align with their tribe instead of forcing the masses to rise. I feel like I've been like that, but I think that a lot more people are starting to lean into that. I seen one post that was leaning into that, but I feel like collectively, I don't know, y'all let me know. There's some spiritual mentors up in here. Y'all let me know what y'all feeling. Cause I know my sister said fuck them folks. She been said fuck that. She been crossed her legs and sat back with her tea and just watched from her palace above. I understand her now. Yes, I understand her now. But use the fuel from this energy to pour into your goals. It's a lot high sun energy. Wait. Oh, this is Jupiter in Cancer squaring Neptune and Aries. Oh, interesting. Oh, no. This is the sun enters Cancer. Okay, this is a lot of emotional energy too. When am I going to get to that part? My bad, y'all. But yeah, use the fuel from this energy to pour into your goals. Everything else will fall into place if you keep it that simple. Right? Spirit said discernment. I put that in all caps. Increase your discernment. It's crucial right now. With increased positive energy comes increased negative energy as well. Some people are feeling themselves and don't mind being toxic. Dang, I said it like that. It said some people are feeling themselves and don't mind being toxic. Okay? They don't mind taking advantage, and they don't mind gaslighting us to dim our light or to try to dim our light. So be mindful of that and have discernment too. Practice controlling your energy. Master your skills. What are you good at? What are your spiritual gifts? What are you good at in general? So practice harnessing and controlling your energy based on observation of your own gifts. Find a mentor that can assist you in rising higher in that gift, in that area. Okay. Not all practitioners are seers. Not all practitioners can see spirit. Not all practitioners can hear spirit. Not all practitioners are dreamers. Not all practitioners work with the dead. You know what I'm saying? All of them don't work with spirits. Some of them only work with their ancestors. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on how deep you want to go, what your gifts are, and what you're seeking on your spiritual journey. That should connect you to your mentor. There was another aspect that happened with the sun too, and this is the information that I wrote from that. So pay attention to how you express yourself and the reaction that you receive during this time. I'm almost done, y'all. Is it the reaction that you desire? Is the question you should be asking yourself. Be mindful of being impulsive in relationships. Your relationships, and I feel like I was mostly talking about romantic relationships here, but some of us, our relationships may not be working or lasting because we're not being honest with ourselves when it comes to love and partnerships. Yes, I was talking about romantic relationships. So it is time to break the illusion. It is time to break the cycle, because new love is coming in for some people. I believe I said that in the last reading or something like that. But it's time to break that cycle for some of us. Break that illusion. Cut old cords by way of some type of cord cutting ritual. Be clear about what you want and accept nothing less than that. And set clear boundaries for yourself and for other people. It's time to be disciplined in the area of love and relationship, especially if you're somebody who wants a family, somebody who wants to be married, okay? Somebody who wants to leave a legacy. Now, some of us don't really care right now. But for the ones who do care, this is the perfect energy to, discipline yourself in that area. And do some healing work, some rituals to release and reset your romantic energy. Learn when to move and when not to move. Every opportunity doesn't require impulsive decision or impulsive action. As a matter of fact, you should always slow down and sleep on it. Okay? What's for you will not rush you. Can we agree on that? Rushing is low vibrational. That's what I channeled earlier. And you know what? When I sat and thought about it, I agreed. And that is because God is patient. God is slow to react. God knows that what's for me is already mine. I already am. So what am I rushing for exactly? We also know that time is an illusion, right? So what am I rushing for exactly? Anything that's swift, that's fast, that is of low vibration. And for the Christians in the group, even the Bible tells us that it is of the devil. Reevaluate your values and your desires. We already talked about that, really. And you will be tested in this season as Saturn moves through Aries. That is what I was talking about last time. Did I go live or did I type that in the group? Something like that. But Saturn is bringing a lot of tests towards the end of this month. Make sure you stand on your boundaries and utilize the remedies that I stated in previous aspects. Really, really write it down and really utilize it, y'all, because these are things that have been helping me for years. For years now. And then the last, well, I guess we don't have remedies for this, but yeah, the last little piece of information is it's also time to stop subconsciously proving your worth. Okay, so Spirit said that a lot of us don't feel like we're proving our worth, but if we sit and look back at it, we are proving ourselves. You know, we do care. So they want us to nip that in the bud. There's nothing to prove. We have nothing to prove. We just are. There's no goals really to accomplish besides the ones that we're setting for ourselves. We're setting the bar. We are setting the expectation for ourselves. That is the reality. Anything else is an illusion. Where you should be, that's an illusion. What you should be doing, that's an illusion. The only thing you should be doing is what you tell yourself you should be doing. What you want to work towards. That's the reality. What you want to work towards, regardless of anything, regardless of having kids. Okay, we're taking the kids with us. You know? Regardless of the limitations we place on ourselves. Let's get out of our own way. Ashe. So yes, you guys. Whew, that was a lot more information than I thought. But when I be sitting there and I get to typing, it just get to flowing and I just keep on going. But I love y'all. I hope that resonated. Let me know how it manifests in your life over time. I'll definitely keep y'all updated on what I got going on, how this is pertaining to me, because when I tell you these readings help me, baby, I have to sit back and I be listening and I be like, dang, that show was spirit, because I'm just a vessel. I'm still human. I'm still working through my life and accomplishing my goals that I've set for myself and getting out of my own way. You know what I'm saying? So we're rising. Oh my God, we're rising. I'm so happy to be here and going through this experience with y'all. And I love y'all. Good night. Peace.